Hey Taurus, I'm Jacene, also known as Tempest Trade, and this is your energy check-in. These messages may resonate if you have the Taurus Zodiac anywhere in your chart. For example, Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, Taurus Moon, Taurus Mercury, Taurus Venus, etc. So when listening to these messages, please use your discernment, as not all messages may be for you. Some messages may be about you, some messages may be about people you are connected to, and some messages may be about other people entirely who watch these videos who are not connected to you at all. So use your discernment, check in with yourself, trust your gut. If you believe in God, source, spirit, goddesses, ancestors, universe, energy, check in with those powers that be also. And if you're interested in a one-on-one private reading with me, you can go to my Linktree Tempest Trade in the description below, or check out any of my social media. I do tarot, divination, Reiki energy healing, and sound healing. So with that being said, let's get started. What do Tauruses need to know right now? Also, these messages are not time sensitive in any way, shape, or form, so these messages may apply or resonate anytime you stumble across this video, or even at a future date, as in you might come back to this video. So let's check in. What do Tauruses need to know right now? Right now when you are watching this video. Okay, that's a lot. The first one that did fly out is the Wheel of Fortune in the upright, followed by the Four of Cups in the reversal. So Wheel of Fortune is, it is good luck, good fortune. It is things happening in your favor, things benefiting you. When you look at this specific card, it is a spider web, and this actually, if I'm not mistaken, is an old folk tale, folk legend of, I think, a weaver, a spider weaver, a spider being. But spider webs are indicative throughout folk tales and folk legends as creation. Because when you think of a spider, spiders spin their webs regardless of time of day or weather. And you also see how certain spider webs, or spider webs in general, can essentially withstand all different types of weather. I mean, yes, of course, spider webs can get destroyed, but that doesn't deter the spider at all from making a new web. Spiders are always constantly making new webs everywhere. Nothing stops them. So this is very much saying how you are the weaver of your own good fortune, and how some things may be fortuitous because the universe smiles down upon you, but other things are fortuitous for you because you've actually put in the work to create the web, to spin the design. Webs also capture food and sustenance for the spider. So it's like casting your net, like a fisherman, weaving the net, casting it out, getting all the fish and all the fruits of the labor being the net itself and the time it takes to do that. So this is telling me that you are putting in work towards certain goals, certain manifestations, or even just healing. Healing yourself, healing or overcoming situations, or just laying down the groundwork for your life in general. And because you're doing that work, you're reaping the good benefits of the work that you've put in. Now, the next card out being Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is typically like a lack of gratitude, not seeing the bigger picture, being very picky and choosy over the different blessings that you actually have in your life. In this particular card, there are 3 cups in front of this prince, but then there's a fourth cup right behind that this prince isn't really paying attention to. So it's the notion that maybe you're not exactly seeing the bigger picture. Maybe like you're too focused on certain things and not focused on the entirety. But again, this is in the reversal. So in the reversal, this is giving me the indication that like you're starting to implement more gratitude for everything in your life, and or you're starting to see things a bit more clearly, starting to take stock of your emotions, take stock of the things that you've accomplished, understanding that though we do have the right to be picky and choosy in our life, that sometimes when it comes to happiness and gratitude and moving forward, it is best to always look at the bigger picture. So it kind of seems that's what you're doing. Looking at the bigger picture, starting to receive good fortune for the work that you've been putting in. Let's see what else. Whoop. We have death in the reversal. Certain things need to stop. It could be certain mindsets, certain habits, certain ideologies, certain connections, maybe a job, maybe some friendships. But cycles need to come to an end, and it looks as though there's hesitation. The Death card is not only something being stopped or ended, but also a rebirth, the beginning of something new. In order to have something new, whether it be a new habit, new mindset, new job, new friendships, new connections, you do need to make space. And sometimes making space means letting go of something. But there's a hesitancy. What are you hesitant about letting go of? One more card, please. The Magician. With the Lovers at the bottom of the deck in the reversal. So in the Magician, you have all the power at your fingertips. You can do everything. You can create everything. You can manifest everything. You have clarity of mind, stability of self, groundedness in your emotions. You have emotional fulfillment. You know exactly what you want or where you're going. And if you don't know exactly what you want or where you're going, you are confident in yourself to find a way. You're confident in yourself to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, however it needs to be done. You are fully capable. But we also have the Lovers in the reversal at the bottom of the deck. This could mean, for example, this hesitancy of walking away. You could be hesitant of walking away from a lover, a romantic interest. You could be hesitant on putting an end to a particular connection. And if the Lovers isn't about you and another person, the Lovers could be your love for self, your love within self, self-love. In the reversal, it could indicate that you don't have enough self-love, or that you have a tendency to not truly accept yourself, give to yourself, or be your own best friend, if that makes sense. So with these combination of cards, what I am getting is that you do have things going for you, good things going for you, because you've put in a lot of work. You've actually done certain things that you needed to do, or you've taken certain actions that got you to where you currently are. How you are taking stock of the bigger picture and you're learning to have more gratitude, but you understand that there are still things you need to change. and you understand that you have the power to change it. And I guess the question is, like, are you willing to? Are you willing to walk away from whatever it is you need to walk away from? Let's get more clarification. It has been raining, and I have been playing with the lighting, the natural lighting, so I'm like extremely bright. 2 separate cameras. 2 different white balances. Exposures. All right, let's get clarity on the Wheel of Fortune card. Okay, 2 cards came out. I think 1 card came out and I still kind of flipped, but 2 cards came out. So we have reinforcements on top of unexpected news. Both of these cards are in reversal. So reinforcement says, bring up the 2nd Cavalry. That idiot Trask managed to lose the 1st again. And then unexpected news says, a rider brings word from afar. A vital message is garbled. A surprise changes everything. New troubles eclipse old. Again, both cards in the reversal. So these combination of cards essentially tell me that either one, with reinforcements in the reversal, like there's not going to be backup. There's not going to be people to fall back on. Or especially since it's Wheel of Fortune, this could mean that maybe you were connected to people who were not reliable, and you've managed to overcome that, because we also have unexpected news in the reversal, which in the reversal, it's not unexpected. It's like, you know this news. You already knew. You were already prepared. So maybe you were already prepared for people to not be there for you. Maybe you were already prepared for people to be unreliable. Maybe you were already prepared for certain bad news or for certain changes in your life. And because you were already prepared, you were confident in yourself, and you still did what needed to be done. Therefore, Wheel of Fortune. You still have good luck, good fortune. You still have a lot of good things going for you. You know, and that kind of makes sense with this reverse Lovers card, because if the Lovers card is indeed about romantic connections between you and another person, then this could be the other person. Like maybe the other person didn't have your back. Maybe the other person did something and you found out about it, or you kind of already knew. Remember, this is a collective reading, so these messages are going to be for multiple people, different types of people. So use your discernment, trust your intuition, check in with yourself. This reinforcements and the unexpected news could also mean that you still persevered even if you didn't have anyone behind you, anyone backing you. That doesn't mean that you had people, bad people in your corner. It just means that you were fully capable of taking care of everything yourself. Like you didn't have anyone. No one was there. So you handled everything on your own. That's not a bad thing. I mean, in some ways, it could create a sense of hyper-independence. But hyper-independence isn't exactly, it's not a hugely bad thing if you can still learn, or if you are still able to lean on others who are actually trustworthy and reliable. I'm going to close these blinds a little bit and bring down this overexposure. I wonder if this is better. Can you see me better? Yeah, I think that's better lighting. Yay for natural lighting. It's raining outside, so it's completely gray and white and overcast. All right. Ooh. Let's get clarity on this Four of Cups in the reversal. Actually, let me adjust myself in my seat. Nope. So we have nascent ley lines on top of superstition. So nascent ley lines are, oh, it's funny. It's because the caption right here says magic, bah, give me a solid set of foundation stones any day. And then superstition, which, as we know, can be magic. Superstition is fairy tales, folk tales, myths, legends, stories passed down throughout time, throughout history, of the most incredible things. And there's a grain of truth in all of those stories. Some stories can be incredibly true to the T, and some stories could be more embellished for a more theatrical kind of effect. So nascent ley lines, they are pathways and certain areas or certain lines on the planet, or even in a land, in a dimension, in a world, that hold a lot of power, or through their connection, through the paths or the lines that are connecting one part or one piece to another part or another piece, it's like there's energy in that line, power in that line. So this combination of cards with nascent ley line and superstition, especially both in their upright, and it is in combination with the Four of Cups, which is taking in the bigger picture, like being like having more awareness of everything going on around you. I think that you are starting to understand how everything is connected and how there is a bit of truth in everything. Like divine timing, for example, which is really interesting that these combination of cards come up, because it does kind of work with the divine timing. This post that I saw on Facebook, and it says, it said, how do you ever stop and take a moment to think how certain actions and certain choices and certain experiences had to line up just right in order for you to meet someone? And it gave a list of different things. For example, a wrong turn, saying yes to something instead of saying no, a like something not working out, or like just all these different experiences, and how suddenly, through those combination of different experiences and different choices, suddenly you and another person are connected. Your lives just overlap. It's very much the same thing. When you kind of zoom out and you see the bigger picture, you see how everything's connected. And when you see how everything is connected, you can kind of see how there is this invisible power connecting everything, or how there are certain truths to the stories that cannot be denied. But these are things that you don't really see, which is interesting, because the Four of Cups in the upright, like I said, there are these cups right in front of this prince, and there's one cup behind the prince. The prince doesn't even know, not even aware. So you are becoming aware that there are certain things you cannot see, but they exist, they're there, they have some energy, they have a power. It could be your connection to certain people. It could be the choices that you've made. It could be a certain guidance or blessings, or, for example, favor. Because this Wheel of Fortune also means favor, divine favor, universal favor, ancestral favor. Let's get clarification on the reverse Death card. Oh, that was close. Ooh. So 2 cards popped out, or 3. I will take this because they kind of popped out in the sideways. I don't normally like taking a lot of cards, but again, they flew out. So we'll see. First card, Dream. Second card, Fork in the Road. Third card, Hermes. Interesting. So, Dream. An evening passes peacefully. Sleep grants you insights. You have a premonition. It was all a dream. And this card's in the sideways. So this could either mean that, for example, certain things you were experiencing that you need to stop, you need to end. It could be like, oh, it was all a dream. Not that it wasn't real, but it was more so it was a moment in time, and that moment in time has come to its end. But since dream also symbolizes having peace or gaining insights through your dreams, this could also mean that maybe you have already received some type of guidance or messages, whether it is through your dream or whether you've received guidance or messages through, for example, like this, divination or advice from someone else. It seems as though you've probably already been told that you need to put an end to certain things. And remember how I said, like, you're hesitant? We have this fork in the road. You have a decision to make, but I feel like, yeah, you're hesitant about the decision, even though, again, you've already received some guidance. And I feel if you were to finally make a decision, especially with this first bullet point, an evening passes peacefully, I feel like you'll finally have peace. Something needs to end. Again, your mindset, a connection, a job, a connection to a family member, a friendship group, a habit, a routine. It could be anything. And Hermes is the god, the messenger god. But Hermes isn't just a messenger god. Hermes is also the patron god of merchants, thieves, travelers, So it's possible that you need to start traveling, and it's possible that you need to become an entrepreneur. It's possible that there are certain things you need to actually achieve, and Hermes is here to essentially tell you to move. Because remember, Hermes, oh, and that's another thing. Hermes is a messenger god. I did say how you probably received some guidance or messages in your dreams or from other people. It could be possible that it's come from Hermes. That Hermes is the one that was actually giving you the messages, passing, like relaying the messages to you on behalf of another deity. Or Hermes is the god that is trying to get you to move. Because remember, Hermes is also the god that has the boots with the wings depicted. So movement, quick. That's why Hermes is the messenger god, because he is quick. Can quickly go to and from different planes of existences, delivering messages from this plane, that plane, from that like kingdom to that kingdom. So, a bunch to unpack in just this one thing. I feel like you have dreams you want to pursue. You have been receiving messages in your dreams. You're at a crossroads in terms of something to end and something new to begin. And you have favor from other like entities, other powers that are essentially telling you, go, move, do something, create something, put an end to something. Don't stay still. All right, let's get clarification on the Magician in the upright. And it got brighter again. Uh-oh, Triumph. I'm trying to think. I feel like this is more sideways than reverse. Is it more reverse? Is it more sideways? Okay, I guess it's more reverse. Triumph. Underneath the Magician. That is an interesting combination of cards. What I'm getting from this is you have the power. You have the ability. You can do it. You can do it. But are you going to do it? In a previous collective reading, there was a very similar message, which was inaction is still inaction. You can still have downfall. You can still hold yourself back. You can be stuck. You can like a fire could break out. Like bad stuff can still happen if you stay still. If you don't make a choice. So this is kind of giving me that same feeling. You have to make certain choices, that you are essentially being guided to make certain choices, guided to leave certain things behind. But only you can do that. Only you have the power to do that. The universe, spirit, source, gods, goddesses, ancestors, they can give you as much favor as they can give you. But ultimately, you're the only one that can turn that favor into triumph. And especially with these reinforcements and the unexpected news, this combination already gives me the feeling that you are successful already. You have already achieved a lot on your own without help. So it's kind of like, what's stopping you now? You've already come this far. What's slowing you down now? Why aren't you making a choice? Why is this choice difficult to make? Is it because you have to actually leave behind someone? You have to let something go, a lover that you had high hopes for? Or is it because like this self-sabotaging voice in your mind that makes you think that you can't love yourself enough to actually achieve more than what you have right now? Because in reality, when we have big dreams, big dreams, there needs to be a level of confidence that we are worthy of those big dreams, that we are capable of those big dreams. And sometimes for some people, we have enough confidence and capability in ourselves to get us half of the way to the dream, but then the rest of the way seems like insurmountable. For example, I've heard of limiting beliefs around being a billionaire, for example. If a person doesn't have much experience with lots of money, they would probably feel overwhelmed trying to manage and balance having $1 billion. So it's that kind of mindset. I mean, I'm saying that's what this combination of the Magician with the Lovers could be. If this is not about a romantic person, a romantic relationship, then this is your love for yourself. Your love for yourself to actually achieve everything that you could possibly achieve. Your faith and your commitment and your dedication and your worthiness of self, worthiness of the dreams that you have and the triumph that you could possibly have. But if this is about a lover, you might have to leave the lover behind in order to move forward and actually get all the dreams and all the achievements and all the life goals that you have your heart set on. So let's get clarification on Lovers in reversal. No, that is way too many cards. I'm going to take this card because it fell out. I'm going to take a look at the other cards just to see. But this is moment of indecision, and that's the reason why I'm going to take it, because we have fork in the road. Now, we're going to take a look at these other cards because this is 4 other cards. We have hidden informant, so someone in the shadows, gathering information, plotting. Buried secret, another person, and like more things that you don't know. Warm and fuzzy, which is probably someone close to you. And then familiar face in the reversal. No, that makes sense. Okay, I guess I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it, and I'll explain why. And then we have Paladin, Knight, Hero, and Chivalry on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So we have this moment of indecision with the Lovers. That this is confirmation that the Lovers is exactly what, holy shit, and the song playing on in the background is somebody that I used to know. Okay. You need to let go of someone. So this could be someone that is near and dear to your heart, but this person probably isn't a good person. Because again, we have hidden informant. So someone in the background, someone is plotting, someone is gathering information and possibly playing both sides. We have buried secret. Personal fact remains hidden. A secret talent is revealed. You make a shocking discovery. The past comes back to life. Warm and fuzzy. A gift brightens your day. A sacrifice proves your devotion. Good omens shine on a venture. A gesture has great meaning. And familiar face in the reversal. Familiar face in the reversal is unfamiliar. And if we think about the combination, for example, we think about hidden informant. It's like someone is putting on a mask. And that makes sense with a familiar face because you don't know who they really are. You don't know what they're really hiding. And there's something that they're hiding, and it's most likely about warm and fuzzy, the warm and fuzzy feelings, which is like a lover's card. Because if you look at warm and fuzzy, it is a person hugging someone, but you can tell that the person being hugged isn't returning the hug. They have their arms straight out to their side. They look stiff. So this is kind of like a forced connection. And this whole combination, it's like if you do have a lover, it's either you or the lover, but one of you isn't authentic. One of you isn't genuine. One of you is wearing a mask, and one of you is playing games. The question is, which one of you? Or maybe both of you. This is also giving me the feeling of codependency. Like if this is a lover situation and you're connected to each other, and let's say you're dating or you're in a relationship or you're just actively pursuing each other, you could be doing it out of comfort. Like there's no real love. You're just seeking comfort and distraction and codependency within each other so you don't have to feel alone. So you don't have to feel so you don't have to feel alone. If that is the case, then, for example, this fork in the road in this moment of indecision, it's like you know that already. However, on the other side, if the lovers is about self-love, self-worth, and being like your own best friend, then this combination of cards is telling me that you need to be more careful, more aware about who you connect yourself to. Because if you don't have enough self-love or enough self-worth, you're going to open yourself up to people who use you, people who keep secrets, people who wear masks for whatever reason. And that could be what you need to change, your own self-love. And we also have hero, chivalry, paladin, knight at the bottom of the deck. You need to be your own hero. You need to save yourself. You are the main character of your story. You are your own hero. Now I have to close these blinds a bit more because it's still really bright. Is this good? Are we back to equal lighting? Okay, equal enough. All right. So let's work on getting more clarification on these cards. If I can shuffle. And let me move the cards up so I have a bit more space. My superstition. Writings on the wall. I always have that song stuck in my head every time the superstition card comes out. Very superstitious. All right. All right, let's get more clarity on the Wheel of Fortune, reinforcements, and unexpected news. Alchemy in the reversal. So alchemy is the practice of turning lead into gold. It is age-old practice of taking one thing and transmuting it, transforming it into something else. So with this card in the reversal, this is giving me the feeling that there might be certain things that you still need to alchemize within yourself. Certain feelings, certain habits, certain mindsets, certain routines, whatever it may be. There are certain things that you are either doing or not doing, or certain things around you, or certain things that you're feeling, and you need to essentially take that and transform it into something else. So turning pain into acceptance, turning anger into motivation, turning stagnation into movement, like that. That makes sense too, because remember, I was also saying how the Wheel of Fortune, it can mean two different things, as in you've put in the work and therefore you are getting the good fortune from your work. But it could also mean divine favor, that you are receiving blessings and favor from other unseen forces that you might not have to put in certain work to get that favor, to get those blessings, but there are other things that you need to put in work for, like using those blessings and turning it into more. So I feel like this is part of that, because alchemy is something that you have to actually do. So even though I feel like you've already done enough, or you've done a lot, like there might still be certain things that you still have to do. All right, let's get clarification on Four of Cups, superstition, and nascent ley lines. Nascent ley line, I forgot to mention, that could also symbolize travel. And since I mentioned how Hermes is also the patron god of travelers, I feel like, I feel like you might want to travel, or you might need to travel. There might be certain places in the world that you have to go to, and those certain places will be magical for you. Ooh, two cards in the reversal. Battle-wise Valor and Life Giver. Interesting. Both of them in the reversal. So Battle-wise Valor says, it's never good to walk into an ambush, but with the right spell, you might walk out again. In the reversal. And then Life Giver. Life Giver. So with Battle-wise Valor, it's giving me the feeling of being unprepared, of not strategizing, not being wise. It's like not having enough wisdom. And then Life Giver in the reversal. When we think of Life Giver, for example, the first thing that comes to my mind is like a mother, because a mother births a creature. and that's bringing life into this world. But life giver isn't just being a mother. Life giver could be a gardener. It could be a creator, an inventor, a medicine worker, a healer, a doctor. Anything where you are creating something, inventing something, or literally putting life into something, giving something meaning. So with these two cards in the reversal, this is kind of giving me the sense of like, it's like not exactly being wise enough to the meaning of life. Maybe that's the reason why you have to travel. That's the reason why Superstition and Nation Leyline came out. And with the Four of Cups being like finally kind of seeing the bigger picture, maybe part of the bigger picture was you not actually believing in certain things. Not actually like believing in things that you couldn't see. Not believing that there was more to the story, more to the picture. Or not understanding how life itself is such a nuanced, layered creation that you don't, like you weren't exactly sure how to maneuver through certain situations because you didn't really have the wisdom about life. You didn't really have the wisdom of what it meant to be alive, of what it means to be alive. Ooh, that's loaded. And the bigger picture of life. Ooh, that's loaded. You're learning to see the bigger picture of life, and you're learning that there are certain things beyond your understanding, and you might have to travel in order to gain more wisdom about life itself. And if it's not about traveling, then it is about actually seeing or learning those invisible threads that connect things together, like superstition and magic. You can't see it, but it's there, like it's woven into everything. Like you can't separate magic and life. They're linked. All right, let's get clarification on Death, Dream, Fork in the Road, and Hermes. Death, Dream, Fork in the Road, and Hermes. Feet of Strength. You need to trust yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to find the strength within yourself. It's going to take strength in order to make whatever decision you need to make. It's going to take strength to follow whatever dreams you have. It's going to take strength to walk away from certain things that you know you need to walk away from. And you need to dig inside of yourself to find that strength and use it. Cards, work with me. You can do everything that you set your mind to, if you set your mind to it. So find that strength within yourself and move. Magician and Triumph. Dead weight. In reversal. Drop the dead weight. Drop it. That's the only way that you're going to find success, is if you drop the dead weight. The dead weight could be people. It could be mindsets. It could be habits, routines, self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging, jobs, certain concepts and ideologies that you have. Whatever does not grow you, whatever does not heal you, whatever does not teach you, drop it. Get clarification on lovers, indecision. Ooh, okay. Quick, that was quick. Grim affliction. Even the small wounds let hope bleed out. You still need healing. If this is a romantic connection that you need to let go of, you still need healing from it. If this is your lack of love within yourself, you still need healing from it. All right, let's get clarification on Paladin, Knight, Hero, and Chivalry. Pilfered plans in the reversal. Pilfered plans is someone trying to take the things you have in your life. Either trying to get into your mind and distract you, mess you up, trying to steal what you've accomplished, what you've achieved. But of course, this is in the reversal. So it's very much two different ways. Either one, you think that people are trying to take from you when they're not. Or two, you need to be the hero, the paladin, the knight, and stop whoever is trying to slow you down, keep you stuck, steal from you, take from you, distract you. Like you're the only one that can stop the villain. You're the hero. You stop the villain from stealing your plans, throwing a wrench into your plans. And we have Sixth Sense at the bottom of the deck in reversal. Not going to lie, a lot of these cards have popped out in the collective reading that I just did prior to this. So I have a feeling like either you, whoever is watching me, either you have both Gemini and Taurus in your chart, or you and a person connected are a Gemini and a Taurus connected together. Because there are a lot of cards that came out in this reading that also came out in the Gemini reading. But again, I did set the intention that these readings are not just for like one specific sun sign. That if you had Taurus anywhere in your chart, this would be applicable for you, could be applicable for you. And if you had Gemini, like the other collective reading that I did, anywhere in your chart, then it could be applicable for you too. So again, it's possible that this Taurus reading and the Gemini reading are about the same person or geared towards the same person, or whatever connection between two people is a Taurus and a Gemini. Anyways, that's interesting. But Sixth Sense in the reversal. Sixth sense is that intuition, that seeing, that knowing, that feeling, trusting yourself, like knowing things that you wouldn't normally know, but it's in the reversal. So it's either you need to train and strengthen your intuition, your sixth sense, your ability to know, or for example, with this hidden informant, familiar face, it's possible that people are trying to conceal their motives, their actual intentions. All right, let's get guidance on moving forward. That fell out onto the floor, and this fell out sideways. Face your fear as the first card out on moving forward. So whatever situation you're going through, whatever alchemizing you need to do, whatever choice you need to make, you need to face your fears. It could be something holding you back. Well, it is something holding you back in some type of way. And the question is, how strong are you and how willing are you in facing it? Because remember, only you can do it with the Magician. Only you are able to stop and end certain things in your life, to change around your life. And it's going to take strength. It's going to take your own inner strength. Firepower. Focus on firepower. Strength, creativity, innovation, determination, perseverance, steam, momentum, power. Focus on your fire, your inner light. Focus on your strength. Oh, I just thought of the what's the song? Mulan, Make a Man Out of You. The main chorus. We must be swift as the coursing river, with all the force of a raging fire. Right? No. We must be swift as the coursing river, with all the strength of a raging fire, with all the force of a great typhoon, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Coursing river, with all the strength of a great typhoon. Gosh dang it. How am I not knowing the lyrics? That is dishonor. Dishonor on me, dishonor on my cow, dishonor on my whole family. Dishonor. Give me the lyrics. Can't believe I have to look up the lyrics. I should know this. Here we go. Huh. So wrong. We must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. With all the strength of a raging fire. Feet of strength, firepower. Look at that. So you need to find the strength within you. The firepower within you. And there's a lot of strength in that. Fire has been one of our greatest discoveries that has, without fire, we wouldn't even be able to do half the things that we do in innovation, creativity, and creation, and how our world is shaped. Yeah, we could find other ways of innovation, but fire. Turning to stone. Basilisk. Yeah, that makes sense. Remember how I was saying that inaction is still an action? You can still, bad things can still happen, or you can still have some type of repercussions, consequences, or a downfall when you don't make a choice. So when we think of turning to stone, it's stuck, stagnant, can't move. Weight, heavy weighted, weighed down. And this is all connected towards making a choice, putting an end to something, actually following through and digging into your well of strength to persevere and push forward. But if you don't move forward, if you don't make a choice, you're going to get stuck. You're going to turn to stone and get stuck. You don't want to get stuck. Okay, final card on moving forward. That did a little hop, skip, and a jump. Okay, I want you to note where it fell. It fell right here. The card itself says web of drama. Web of drama. And it fell out right below and or on top of the Wheel of Fortune, which is a literal spider web. And this is in the reversal. When it comes to the Magician, Triumph, dead weight, web of drama, with tunnel vision on the bottom of the deck. So this is giving me the sense that either one, if this is a relationship, if this Lovers is about a relationship, then essentially this connection, it's all drama. It is all drama. Nothing good is coming from it. It's just... Interesting. Remember earlier in the reading when I said this Wheel of Fortune, especially with this reinforcements and the unexpected news, and how I mentioned you could have been going through situations where people didn't have your back, like they weren't reliable. This could be that person. This could be the person that didn't have your back and all they brought was drama. Or, for example, you overcame certain situations even when you didn't have anyone, even when you had no one. And I feel like this Lovers card, again, if this is about a relationship, then this relationship brings drama. Whatever connection you are involved in, it's dead weight, it brings drama, there's no success. It probably makes you feel like you can't do anything, you can't grow, you can't evolve, you can't move forward, you can't. And then we have this tunnel vision on the bottom of the deck. Now, if this Lovers isn't about a relationship and it's about you, it's about your lack of self-love, your lack of self-worth, then this is essentially saying how your low self-esteem, your low self-worth, your low self-love allows you to get involved with people that bring drama into your life. Because again, when you have high self-love, high self-value and self-worth, you're not going to allow other people into your life when they are bad influences or when they bring problems. You're going to have boundaries and standards, and you're going to walk away and say, I'm not interested in that. I wish you well. I can only be your friend to a certain extent, but there's only so much that I can allow you access to. And again, going back to this bottom of the deck, tunnel vision, you could be involved with certain people that have tunnel vision. Like they can't see their own flaws. They do not hold themselves accountable in any way, shape, or form. And if you try to talk to them, or if you try to have any type of conversation that might challenge their thinking, or might expand their mindset, they probably can't. They probably can't expand their mind. They probably can't be accountable. They probably can't think of things beyond the here and now. They might be very tunnel visioned, which could be the reason why you might have a lot of drama in your life. On the flip side, this could also mean that you need to have more tunnel vision towards your goals, towards your dreams. A lot of the really wealthy people throughout time and history, or a lot of the innovators, inventors, scientists, researchers, creators, a lot of those people that we know have a name, like Nikola Tesla, like Ferrari, like Bill Gates, or whoever else. All of those people needed to see their vision and their goal, like they needed to see it clearly, and they needed to focus on it with like laser focus. So this card, again, two separate meanings. You could be dealing with people that are unable to look at the bigger picture, which again, with this Four of Cups, I feel like you're starting to look at the bigger picture. And you could be around people who can't see the bigger picture. At the same time, this could be asking you to be more laser focused on your goals and your dreams, on the things that you can create. Unfortunately, in order to achieve your goals and your dreams, sometimes you have to leave things behind. That's just a fact. That's just a reality. You can't move if you have weights pulling you down. Some people, some places, some jobs, some connections, they're weight. So use your discernment, check in with yourself, be self-aware, ask gods, goddesses, ancestors, guides, universe, source, spirit, whatever you believe, ask them for guidance and for clarification on any part of this reading. Trust yourself. And if you would like a private one-on-one session with me, you can go to my Linktree Tempest Trade in the description below, or message me on any of my social media, also linked in the description below. Until next time. Until next time. Bye.